This is the third video explaining a strange trial. King, give your evidence and don't be nervous. I will have you executed on the spot. Now King is warning the Mad Hatter, who is being nervous because he has also been accused of stealing the hats by the king, and he has told the jury to write it down. And we have discussed. I have explained it in the previous video, and now King is warning this Mad Hatter to provide his evidence without being nervous, without being fearful, or he will be executed. He will be killed, his head will be cut off. Hatter shifts from foot to foot, looks uneasily at the Queen, and in his nervousness takes a bite of his teacup instead of the bread and butter. This warning from the King makes Mad Hatter very nervous, and he is shifting from foot to foot in nervousness. And he takes an uneasy look at Queen, and instead of cutting into the bread, he tried to cut into his teacup. Dormouse to Alice, I wish you wouldn't squeeze me. You wouldn't squeeze so much. I can hardly breathe. Now Dormouse is saying to Alice that I wish you would not squeeze me. You would not press on me so much. I can hardly breathe. I am unable to breathe. I can barely breathe because you are pushing so hard on me. Alice, I can't help it, I am growing. And Alice says that I can't do anything because I am growing. I am getting bigger and bigger. Dormouse, you have no right to grow here. And Dormouse says, you can grow right here. Alice, don't talk nonsense. You know that you grow too. Alice replies to Dormouse that you stupid. Everyone grows. You grow either. Dormouse, but I grow at a reasonable pace, not in a ridiculous fashion. And Dormouse says, yeah, I grow, but I grow very gradually, reasonably. How much I have to grow in a day, I grow. But you are growing in a very ridiculous fashion. Ridiculous means foolish. Gets up and crosses to the other side, and when he is unable to breathe where he was sitting, he gets up and moves to other side to comfort himself. Dormouse. King, angrily, give your evidence, or I will have executed whether you are nervous or not. Now King is end the warning to the Mad Hatter to provide his evidence very quickly, or he will be executed whether you are nervous or not. I don't care, irrespective. I don't care why are you unable to provide your evidence. I will execute you. I will respect no reason for whether you are nervous or not. Hatter, I am a poor man, your majesty. When I began my tea, the March Hare said. Mad Hatter says to King, I am a poor man. Means he is trying to seek the mercy of the judge, of the king. When I began my tea, the March Hare said, and Mad Hatter says to King that when I began drinking my tea, March Hare said, and he did not say anything. He stopped there. When he was about to say something that March Hare has said, he stopped. Why? Because March Hare interrupted. I didn't. Well, Mad Hatter was about to say something that March Hare had said to him as he had begun his tea. March Hare interrupted. I didn't say anything. Hatter replied, you did, to March Hare. March Hare said, no, I deny it. I don't agree. I did not say anything. It's a crystal clear, negative answer. King, he denies it. King says to the jurors that March Hare is denying. Much Hare does not agree. Hatter, anxiously, at any rate, Darmo said. Now, Mad Hatter is very angry, yeah, very anxious. He's very nervous. He's very worried about what is going to happen with me, because King had already issued two death warnings to him if he did not provide his evidence quickly. Now he changes his stance. He says that now, no, no, no. At any rate, at any cost, if March Hare hasn't said anything, then it must be Dormouse. Dormouse said, at any rate. Dormouse snores loudly, and Dormouse is sleeping, and he is snoring. And when Mad Hatter says that, at any rate, Dormouse said he snores more loudly in response. And then I cut some more bread and butter, and Hatter says that when and it's very humorous evidence being provided by the Mad Hatter. He says when Dormouse said, and he did not say anything. He just said to the king, Dormouse said, and didn't say anything. And then he says, then when Dormouse said me something that he did not told the king, because he's quite mad, as introduced by the Alice. And then he says, then I cut some more bread and butter. Then I continued drinking my tea, having my tea, my bread and butter, whatever he was having before he was sent for jury. And what did the Dormouse say? Now jury asks the question, and what did the Dormouse say? If Dormouse has said you something, then what's it? What did Dormouse say to you, Hatter? That I can't remember. Oh. Hatter says that I don't remember that what Dormouse said to me. King, you must remember all I will have executed. Now King is the third warning, death warning to this Mad Hatter. You must remember, try to remember, or I will have you executed, or I will sentence you to death. Hatter drops the teacup and bread and butter and goes down on the knee. And Hatter knelt down, drops teacup and butter, goes on the ground on his knees. Hatter, I am a poor man, your majesty. And Hatter is trying to seek the king's mercy and says to the king, humbly, that I am a poor man, your majesty. King, you are a very poor speaker. And King replies that you are also a very poor speaker. You are a poor man, okay, but you are also a very poor speaker. You did not speak anything. You did not provide any evidence today. You had just, your very nose. Guinea pigs cheer. They are dragged out of the court by officer. Guinea pigs, they are a kind of pets, and they are also found in real life, not in just the play. And they start to cheer. They create cheering voices, and they are dragged out of the court. After they heard the remark of the king, they start cheering, but because of their cheering, they are dragged out of the court by the officers. Alice, that's the first wise thing that king has said today. And the Alice also is hailing this king's remark to the Mad Hatter. Alice comments on it that it's a first wise remark that king has said today. King, if that's all you know, you may stand down. Now king says to the Mad Hatter that it's all you may know, if you don't know anything beyond this, whatever you have said. And actually he did not say anything. And king is still saying, if that's all you know, then you may stand down, then sit down. Hatter, I can't go lower, I am on the floor as it is. Now Hatter replies that I am on the floor already, sitting on the floor. I can't go lower than this. Now it's very humorous because Hatter did not understand, because he's quite mad. King, then sit down. And king says to Mad Hatter to sit down. Hatter, I would rather finish my tea. Hatter replies that I would like to drink my tea rather, if you don't mind, to the king. And this is all the mad conversation between king and not very wise conversation, as the Alice has already pointed out that king is not very clever, and Mad Hatter is quite mad, completely mad. King, you may go. And King orders, and King says Mad Hatter to leave. And Mad Hatter hurries off, and Mad Hatter leaves the court very quickly, immediately, at once. Queen, and take his head off outside. And now this is, when the king ordered Mad Hatter to leave the court, Queen ordered and take his head off outside. Queen ordered to cut off his head outside. As he left the court, Queen ordered to take his head off because he likes to say off their heads, as we have seen in the introduction of this play. King King commands to call the next witness.